of the gods. And she had hated little Reed the moment she set her old eyes on her. "Mater Orna?" Mama said when they reached the door of the lodge. She used the honorary mater to signify that they came to her as family. Had they come for healing or blessings, Mama would have called her Healer Orna or Wise Orna, as the case allowed. "Come in." They stepped through the door, which was not much of a door but a flap made from woven reeds and plant fibers, the same fibers that comprised the basket that Reed held, and found Orna seated on the floor, on silk pillows and a thick wool rug. Reed had heard Mama whisper that the pillows wouldn't last long in the heat and wetness before they started to grow mold. Killy, the oldest daughter of the family, who shared space with the wise woman, came forward to greet them from where she sat in the far corner, tending 3 toddlers. But when Orna saw them, she simply said, "Oh, it's you," and went back to playing a solitary game with colored stones that Reed didn't know how to play. Mama nudged her, and Reed stepped forward to offer the basket of rice balls. "For you, Mater Orna," Reed said, and lowered her head. She and Mama waited in the silence. Long silence. Until Mama lost her temper. "You don't really mean to ignore her when she is right in front of you." "When who is right in front of me?" Orna asked. Mama's lips drew into a thin, grim line, an expression that Reed knew well, but Orna didn't seem afraid, despite Mama's great height and her strong arms, muscled from pulling fish from the sea and the river. The men of their people worked the earth. Papa knew how to make brick from mud and clay, how to sow seed and build lodges, but one day Reed would work the water, like her mother, strong enough to wade into the current and pull up the traps of crab and crayfish, strong enough to battle the fish who bit their lines, even the flat ones who hugged the silt and sand at the bottom. "Reed is a good girl and a hard worker. I don't care who you are. I won't let you treat her like she is cursed." Reed's chest warmed as Mama pulled her to her waist. No one was as fierce as Mama was. Not Papa, not Auntie Lyra, and certainly not mean Orna, who sat on legs like thin sticks and had cheeks like empty cloth. "I never said she was cursed," Orna said. "Nor did I say she was bad. I only said she was not ours." At last, she looked at Reed, and Reed wished she hadn't. The emptiness in that look made her feel even more invisible than before. "Not ours," Orna said again. "Not mine, and not yours, plain for anyone to see. So why get attached?" "Orna," Mama said, and tried once more. "Wise Orna. What does that mean?" Orna's eyes dropped to the basket of rice balls, and for a moment Reed thought they had won, that she would take them, and the unpleasant errand would be over. "Take those out of here," Orna said, "and let the girl have them. Give her something sweet. I do not think she will be with us for much longer." "What does that old hag know?" Mama was irate as they walked through the settlement, past other lodges and the communal hearth, past the site of the future church, now just a square of large, smooth stones. "Mama," Reed said, and tugged on her shift. They were passing the enclosure where they kept the goats and sheep and the many donkeys who had helped them carry their belongings through the wet, wooded country. Reed would have liked to stop and feed them a few rice balls, but Mama brushed her hand away and stalked on. She didn't stop until they reached their lodge, and burst through the flap so quickly that it swung back and hit Reed in the face. "Wise Orna," Mama sneered to herself as she tore out of her good crimson dress and pulled on a white work dress, yellowed with water stains.